you in there? Load up the headphones.
Put them on.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I can
All right.
hear you.
I'm going to drive for just a second. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So I guess how I want to start, let's go ahead and read our Bible verse that I feel I want representing what we're doing here. Ephesians 6:19 and 20. Paul is in prison, and he is asking the church of Ephesus to pray for him. And in verse 19 it says, "Pray also for me, that whenever I speak, words may be given me, so that I will fearlessly make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains. Pray that I may declare it fearlessly as I should." So after that, I would like to say a prayer. So if you'll bear with me here. Lord, thank you for giving us this opportunity. I'm going to start over. Hold on, because I had to move the mic. Lord, thank you for giving us this opportunity. You've given us an amazing country to live in, an amazing time to see what we are capable of, but also we are in a time where, because we have all of these distractions, occasionally we will lose our focus on you, and our communities have fallen away from you. I ask that you would bring us together to allow us to support each other and encourage each other. The further we fall from you, Father, I shudder to think where we will end up. Let this podcast be a light for you, and may your grace and truth flow through us so that we may reach people that need to hear your truth and witness your grace. I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Well said, brother.
Thanks. A little long-winded. But, okay. So, community in general, this is something that me and you both feel very strongly about.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for the last month and a half.
Definitely. And God's put it on both of our hearts that we really need to reach out to our community and work on ourselves and us being part of the community. Because it's even though it's a community of people, a community is made up of individuals. Community defined is a group of people living together in one place, especially one practicing common ownership. So, to me, we need to take ownership of our community, all of us individually, so that we can hold each other to a higher standard. And
I mean, that's what our local governments are supposed to be, is by the people, for the people. And I don't think that a lot of people in our community feel represented. But I think that a major reason for that is because of lack of involvement. You know, I can't say that I'm involved in our local government at all. I've never been to a board meeting or city council meeting. I mean, that's where this happens. That's where that type of change happens. And I think that a lot of people within the Christian community specifically want changes to happen, especially in our education system.
Oh, most definitely. Oh man, I was going to add something to that was going to be good. Dang it. Well, we'll have to edit this part out. Dang it, Austin.
Community.
Yeah.
Our community is comprised of the people who live close to us. You know, like I know my neighbors, but don't really have a a relationship with them. You know, recently, talking about changes in our community, recently I had a weirdo show up out here. He actually dropped off a stolen truck at my neighbor's house, dropped off a bag with drugs and guns, threw it in the woods, caught him on camera. I mean, we both have cameras everywhere. And, you know, I've talked to him a few times, but we definitely figured out who each other is whenever that happened, because he relied on me to watch out for him and vice versa, you know, and we stayed in contact, and we both like to be left alone.
Yeah.
But we have no problem supporting each other either.
Which is critical. So where I'm at with all of this, we're our community, due to whether it be, I mean, there's a host of reasons as to why we have a lack of connectivity, but social media and the internet being a major problem. And I mean, we're posting a video on the internet for people, but the whole point is to break free from that and connect to real people.
Right.
Because real people connections are what makes your life worth living.
Not fake connections. I was friends with him on Facebook before he bought the house next to me, and I didn't even know who he was.
Standard operating procedure for your average American.
I'm friends with you on Facebook, but I don't even know who you are.
Right. I think that's 90% of people.
Yeah.
And that's the root of the problem that we're trying to discuss here. Being that there is, well, okay, let's just look back at history. So back in like the Dark Ages, 14th, 15th centuries, during the plagues and everything, they wouldn't trust their neighbor due to fear of infection of the bubonic plague. It caused uprisings amongst the peasant class. There was major distrust in each other, but not just each other. There was major distrust in the political bodies. They didn't trust the people in charge to take care of them.
Was that because they weren't doing anything, or what they thought? You know, they thought the government wasn't doing enough for them?
Very possibly. How could the government do anything of that time? They didn't know.
Right.
But as far as if you're a peasant, you think that they're supposed to be taking care of you, and they're not. Flash forward a few millennia, here we are in America. We can't trust our neighbor. We can't trust our political officials to take care of us because we don't even know them.
Yeah, COVID was a prime example of that. And that also really, really damaged our communities. I mean, no one wanted to socialize. You must stay 6 feet away from me. Don't even look at each other.
Oh, I know.
Or you're gonna die.
Mm-hmm. And then not only, just the masks themselves. All you can see is
It's dehumanization.
Yeah, all you can see is people's eyes. Right. And what kind of response are you going to get out of someone's eyes?
Yeah, it's freaky.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was mind blown when I was encouraged to walk into a bank with a mask.
Right. Well, what you say is, I'm wearing a gun. It's actually a federal crime to wear a mask and conceal a weapon. Yeah. I liked that one.
That is good. But that's right.
Shouldn't have to do that anyway.
No. And the cops were wearing masks. They've got guns.
Right.
Not to get onto the cops. I do support the cops.
Yeah.
Because they have a tough job, especially with the distrust in the community. People, like I said, there's nobody holding you accountable. You can go beat up grandma across the street. Mom and dad don't care. Well, mom and dad might care, but neighbor Steve doesn't care. He doesn't know you from Adam. And he certainly doesn't know old lady Alice that you beat the snot out of.
Right. So solution oriented though. I mean, they're get plugged into a church. There's a Patriot breakfast at, I think it's Scramblers. I don't know. I'll put it in the description or whatever. Yeah. But I'm really excited to go to that. I wish you weren't going to Nashville this weekend. Otherwise, we'd be going to that Patriot breakfast on Friday morning.
That would be a great time. And I'm sure we would meet all sorts of elders in our community at something like that.
Yeah, there are young people there too, though. But specifically, it's a Patriots breakfast,
People who love America.
Yeah, people who think like we do. Freedom-oriented people.
Well, what I'm trying to do is spread that freedom orientation. I mean, there's a lot to be said for being accepting of people for who they are. However, there is a standard that we are to be held to.
Hang on now. You're starting to sound like a Christian nationalist.
Well, dang. I love my country and I love Jesus, so I just very well might be.
Yeah, I'll get us some badges.
Yeah, there you go. That'd work perfect, Christian nationalist.
Right, yeah. I mean, what if we are not called to be Christian nationalists? What are we called to be? I mean, we are supposed to spread the story of Jesus,
yes,
and we are supposed to support our country.
Mm-hmm.
And this country was founded on those values.
100%.
So if we aren't sticking to those values, what values are we sticking to?
None. That's the problem.
Well,
it's the values of the self.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
and
whatever.
who is all about himself? Satan.
Oh, well, yeah.
He
certainly proud of
wanted all the
himself.
glory for himself. That's pride.
Yeah, he wanted to be God.
Pride. What does that lead us to?
Well,
Pride organizations within our education system.
that's a problem.
It's the demoralization of our society. That's what this has led to.
Right. Yeah. And it's very sad to a person who does believe in their country and believe in the morals that are written in the Bible. And what I want to refer back to is, how did Jesus treat all of these types of people? He talked to people from all sorts of different creeds. You could be as wealthy as a king, or you could be a Samaritan woman at a well. It didn't matter. And he would go to the places where these people needed to hear the truth to tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I don't necessarily need to condemn the people, but I need to make clear that their actions aren't in line with the goal of our forefathers when creating this country. Well, it goes back to what you were saying earlier. As far as this country was built for moral and religious people. And man, I'm like having a freaking tangent brain attack. Okay. I need to rewind like 5 minutes. What were we talking about, Austin? Before we got on, I got tied up in a knot.
It's the demoralization of our society.
Why am I having such a hard time making my freaking brain work? It's the devil. Sucker.
It's different whenever you get in front of the camera and you start talking.
Definitely. It kind of puts you on the spot, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's very different.
And I guess we just need to start talking. Eventually it'll loosen up, I think.
It's the demoralization of our society, and it's orchestrated. It's not an accident. This is not an accident. This is part of the plan. I mean, if you are a believer, you understand that there will be a new world order.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, you detach the people from one another. I mean, it's a list of steps that must be followed in order to do this. And the demoralization of society is one of the major steps. I mean, you have to get the women to not trust the men, the men not to trust the women.
That's working well.
Yep. You have to have the children to be confused about their own identity. There's no confidence in our children because you have the school telling them, "Are you sure? Are you sure that you're a boy?"
Oh, and undercutting their parents.
Right.
That one wears me out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, the family unit's being replaced by the government.
Correct. Yes.
And that's a massive problem. And the more that the atomic family crumbles and falls away, women naturally are caregivers, and argue with me if you want, but
there are gender roles.
yes. And so they are more caring, and all of that feminine energy doesn't just go away, even though they don't have a family to build with and work with and mold. That then goes into society and
their job.
their job. But what I'm more concerned about is the societal impact, because you have these women that do care. I truly believe they do care, and they're trying to make this country a better place for everyone, right? But in doing so, because they don't have a real connection with the people they profess to care about, that leads to misguided actions in trying to take care of everyone. And in reality, certain people either A, can't be helped, or they will take advantage of the weakened system.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Okay. So our society was largely merit-based for the first 225 years. Okay.
Merit-based.
Merit-based. Yes. So if you were good at something, you got the job.
You were rewarded.
Correct. Based upon how hard you worked for it and how skilled and or talented you were. That enabled you to get the high-paying job, having high-paying skills, not being a nice old boy or old gal. And with DEI, that brought in, well, it doesn't really matter if you're really good at this job. We need 16 black women on the payroll.
Or women.
Or women.
Or Asians.
Either way, yeah.
But
I'm not trying to.
It's not about the skill.
No.
Yeah.
It's about reaching a quota.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it was Charlie Kirk who said that DEI, it takes away from all those people because it makes you automatically question if they earned it or not.
Right.
So it really takes away from their accomplishments. It's like, well, yep, I got this job. I'm an influential young man, and I can make a difference now. And I've got 10 people over my shoulder going, well, he just got hired because he's mildly autistic. You know?
Yeah.
I don't need that.
Yeah.
I want to have earned it.
Right.
And if I've earned it, that means I get to take my pay home that I earned and put it where I feel it needs to go. Which, in my case, would be my community. I need to put it back in.
Do you think we can get back on track?
Yes.
What do you think it's going to take to do that?
A strong majority of people finding the truth.
Organization.
Yeah. I mean, organization is going to be huge because right now people can congregate online, but especially after COVID, as far as congregating anywhere other than like the church, which isn't a bad thing. I don't know of many other, I mean, there's hobby-based congregations.
So here's a good example. If we don't want LGBTQ ideology, gay ideology, transgender ideology, all of that stuff, if we don't want that in our public education system, and a majority of us think that way, and it is the minority who thinks that it belongs, that it needs to be in there.
Yes.
Then if we were to get together, what are they going to do?
It's a pretty good point.
I mean, they can't say no.
No.
You can't enforce that. You can't force that on us.
That's funny you say that, and especially the way you put it, because that is democracy.
Right.
The majority made the decision. And the minority has to deal with it.
Right. But right now we're allowing minority groups
To rule our country.
Correct. Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Especially from what I see, the LGBTQ plus. We're scared to say the average person is scared to say anything about these people because of fear of prosecution, because they're already a marginalized group. They're already a group that people, quote unquote, pick on because they're, quote unquote, strange.
But it is strange. It's not normal. The normalization of that in our society is not normal. I mean, you are who you are. There is no confusing that. I mean, you are born a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
and you are that person. There is no changing that. And to do that is taking away from what God made you to be.
I 100% agree.
I mean, God made you a specific way. Who are you to say, no, God, you didn't make me like this. I decide who I am. That's not how
pride.
that works. Yeah, exactly. That's pride. It's
That's
Satan.
claiming yourself as God.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I mean, you don't, sure, I decide like what I wear and how I behave,
Sure.
but like that's my personality. You can't change something that is unchangeable.
Not biology.
Yeah.
No, you can't change biology.
I mean, the same thing goes for plastic surgery. You know, God made you a certain way. You should be that
yeah.
way, you know.
I would agree with that. Yeah. Because, yeah. And like, he made you the way he did for a reason. You know, you're not a multi-tool.
Right.
You have a specific purpose. And you can choose whether or not to follow that purpose. But at the end of the day, if you want to live a full life that you are content and happy, I would highly recommend finding what your general purpose is. And, you know, for the past, since I was in school, a big question that everybody would be like, oh, I've got an unanswerable question for you. What's the meaning of life? I've always had an answer for that question. And when I was younger, my immediate response to that was, well, what is your religion? What do you believe in?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you believe in, that is your purpose. If you believe in nothing, you're correct. You have no purpose. Now that I am older and I have...
Someone who would disagree with you would say, oh, okay, so in order to have a purpose, I must have a religion.
You must believe in something.
Right. But if you believe in nothing, then you'll fall for everything.
Yes. You'll fall for any whim that everybody else wants to go with because it's easy, because you won't get persecuted for it.
There's no standard of living.
Not in this country, because everything's permissible, which is a huge problem.
Wasn't there a place in the Bible like that?
Yeah, there was.
Right. Emphasis.
And there's a nice tall pillar of salt out there beside it. Now, I don't think that's going to happen as far as fire and brimstone to America, but I could definitely see something else.
We could talk for a very long time about that, you know, Gog and Magog and what our role is in that. But that's neither here nor there. You know, our goal in this episode is specifically to talk about uniting like-minded people within our community and bringing the power back to us, because we aren't going to be told.
No, and by no means are we the minority.
No, we're not.
And that's what needs to be understood. I mean,
Right.
I have been for the past few years in a position to where I have not felt comfortable speaking what I believe to be true. And at this point, I have been able to, and I've had a lot more clarity because of that. I'm not scared of stepping on people's toes because I'm trying to be genuine. I'm trying to be honest. And I think honesty would solve a lot of problems in this country.
Right.
It's like, man, that is weird. Okay, well, I can get behind that. So can everybody else.
Right.
Now that we understand that X, Y, or Z is weird, and that the majority of people do agree with that, then we can actually make some progress. I mean, it really goes back to honesty.
Yeah, the biggest issue I have with that is it's not normal. If it was normal, why do you need to tell the kids about it? Why do you need to bring drag queens into schools and have them read stories to the children and have them sit on their lap? Come here, little kitty, sit on my lap. Let me read you a story. That's not normal.
That'll make your skin crawl, man.
Yeah, that's not normal. If it was normal, it would happen regularly without the indoctrination of our children. And it does happen. But typically it happens to people who have sexual trauma or other traumas in their life. I spoke to a woman recently, her dad actually, she said he was like 65 and he decided that he was a woman now.
Oh, wow.
Just out of nowhere. And
Late start.
so they went to counseling together. And he never really divulged anything, but based on what he said, there was early sexual trauma. And she was very distraught about it because that's her daddy.
Right. I would imagine.
And to watch your daddy suddenly turn into someone who you have no idea who they are, and they start treating you different and talking to you different. I mean, they're completely changing their identity.
Yeah.
And
And nobody ever talks about the other side. Nobody talks about the parents of the child who has
right.
mutilated themselves.
Yep. That was the first. I've never met anyone.
That is willing to even talk about it.
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter is that if you're their parent and societally, you do love them and society expects you to, which good. That's a good thing society still got right. But just because you love them, that doesn't mean you go along with everything that they have to say.
Right.
You need to keep them on the logical and or straight and narrow,
Right. Yeah.
Period. That's your job as a parent. It's not to love them no matter what. It's to teach them and equip them.
It is to love them unconditionally, though. I mean, you do have to love your child unconditionally.
Do you?
I mean, I think so. I mean, there's a difference between loving your child. I mean, Jesus loves you no matter what you do.
I can see that. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, we're called to love our neighbor the same way that Jesus loves us.
This is true.
So that also applies to our children. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you have to unconditionally love your children.
Strong
That
point.
doesn't mean that you have to support.
Yes. Yes. And yeah, that I definitely misspoke because you are supposed to lead with love. Because that's what, we're called to be like Christ, and that's exactly what he did. So yes, but you are not called to love their sin.
Correct. And so this is what I was trying to get at a minute ago is they put you in a position, it's a vulnerable position. Like they take the power because like for me, for example, I have a younger sister who, my parents and myself don't want her being exposed to those ideologies. And whenever you have someone who does believe in those ideologies, you don't want that person around them, and it's not that you hate the person. It's just that I have to protect who I love from something that is damaging. It damages everyone you love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're taking it upon yourself to mutilate yourself and change your identity when that's not your right. We already talked about that.
Yeah. And your parents, whenever you were born, they had a beautiful baby boy or girl, and they loved them so much. It would have changed their life, and for the better. And then they want to go mutilate themselves. Societally is told that you're supposed to support that. So you don't, Either way, you're going to have some serious inner turmoil, and you're not allowed to share it. Because if you share it, that is hate and I use hate.
That's what it's called, though.
Right.
Right.
It's not hate, but it's called hate towards your child. And it's not. You're expressing hurt because you loved your child for who they were. And still do. You love your child for who they are.
In the protection of, my sister or someone else, that is then interpreted as hate or unacceptance.
Right.
And I mean, the fact of the matter is that it is unacceptance. We aren't going to accept sin,
but that isn't a bad thing.
Right.
Like it's portrayed.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad thing to love and care for and try to protect the people you do love, and to protect them from this ideology, I think is critical right now, but it is also frowned upon to try to protect them from it. And that is a big problem that we need to get past.
Yeah. You don't have the right to tell my child about that.
Nah.
You don't have that right.
Now, if they pulled it out of thin air, whoa, I'd be very surprised, to say the least, and I would definitely try to steer them to the right path.
Did you see that Christian County, the board of trustees for the Library Association in Christian County is removing those types of books from the library?
I did hear about that. Excellent. Yeah, I'll tell you what. If an adult wants to go look into that stuff and they feel like it's what's going to give their life meaning or enrich their life, and they need to make that mistake, they can, but they shouldn't think that it is
normal,
right, or socially acceptable. Now, I'm not trying to berate these people, and I'm not trying to say I hate them, but I am trying to say that they have a serious mental illness.
They have a sin problem.
Big time. And
so do I. So do you.
Exactly.
But the difference is I'm not projecting my sin onto you.
And we're encouraging it.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, the projection of that's brutal. I mean, I can't quote you the verse, but what is it? It's not that you're cursed if you cause another believer to stumble and fall.
Oh, the little ones.
Yes.
You're better to have a millstone tied around your neck and thrown into the ocean.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. And that's exactly what they're doing.
That's exactly what's happening. That doesn't give us the right to do that, but it is better to have that done to you than to cause a little one to stumble in their walk with Christ.
So that's how serious he is about this.
Right. This isn't something I enjoy talking about. I don't like targeting a group of people. That's not the goal here. But it is something that needs to be talked about because it's not normal, it's not natural. And it's being forced upon us.
Yes.
And us as a society, a community, have the right to stand up for what we believe is right and what is wrong. We can stand against what is wrong. We can stand up for what is right. There just needs to be organization and backing in the movements that are happening, like in Christian County.
Yep.
Like people need to be going to those meetings. Yeah. There needs to be support, and there needs to be young people. Mm-hmm. I spoke to one of them, and I spoke to I won't share her name right now. She said that they're actually getting threats, and
Wow.
Yeah, for doing this.
The left is violent. Changed my mind.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. Good night. Well, what I had a kind of a thought the other day, and this is going to be what I try to implement.
I apologize. Let me jump back into what I was saying real quick. We'll trim it. So I spoke to one of the board members there. I'm not going to share her name because she said they're receiving threats and stuff.
Lost it again.
Okay.
Oh my word.
She said that, okay, so I spoke to one of the board members there, and she said that they're receiving threats, and so I'm not going to share her name, but bro, what is wrong with me? What I'm trying to say is that they keep seeing, they keep seeing the same faces there. There's no new people. There's no young people. It's the same people speaking at these meetings.
Right.
And they need people to support that.
Mm-hmm.
They need that support because, I mean, in order for them to feel confident, like,
They need to feel like they have the backing of the people.
correct,
100%.
yes. And why are people not showing out for that? And I think the reason is because they haven't been vocal enough about it.
Well, that or they're scared to stand up.
They are
because
scared.
of
Violence.
the violence and the persecution of the left.
Correct.
Because they scream the loudest.
Yep.
Yeah. What I was
That's something that needs to change. We're loud too, but man, we've been quiet for a really long time, and we've let this happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we gave permission, and we just sat
back and let it roll. Oh yeah,
man.
Oh yeah.
And that includes me and you.
Yeah. I know.
But
That's why we're trying to do this.
right. And the number one thing, this is one of my biggest pet peeves whenever it comes to this, is the excuse of, well, it's just me. It's just little old me. What am I supposed to do? And
You're the only one that you can control.
that's correct. But we can control what's in front of us, who's around us, and what we do within our community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how we make a change.
Got to work on the man in the mirror. Yep. What I have been working on recently, and what I am going to try to implement in my own civic life, is I'm going to try not to vote for anybody I don't trust. And I'm not saying I'm not going to vote.
You're still going to vote?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my!
But
I think we're past that. I don't think any of it's real.
Well, I think losing trust in our government is a slippery slope. And if you want to see the dissolution, if you want to see the United States dissolve,
Yeah, the dissolution.
yeah, then once everybody loses faith in our country, it's done. We have to trust our people, but the problem is we don't trust anyone who's in those seats. That's why we need to only vote for people who we feel like we can trust.
Do you even know who our senators are in Missouri?
I know of Josh Hawley.
That's what I was gonna say.
That guy's
I
awesome.
think that's the only one I know.
I used to know more. I think Melanie Stennett, but she may be Missouri. I think she's my district in Missouri. But either way, and I actually did meet her, and she's a very nice lady.
But left wing. So we're talking about local government. I'm talking about federal government.
I'm talking about both.
Okay, because I mean the federal government, left wing, right wing. They're both
that's a
wings on the
machine.
same bird.
Yep, that's a machine. So local government, yes, but at the same time, I'm talking about all the way through the whole shooting match. So that means if I got to write down Austin Davis on the presidential candidate and that's my vote and it doesn't count for anything, that's what I'm going to do.
Please don't. Israel will kill me.
Yeah, they'd have a come apart, wouldn't they? But what I'm getting at is distrust in our leaders is going to trickle down. And if we don't trust them, they aren't going to trust us. And if they don't trust us, they're not going to care about us.
They already don't care about us, Ethan.
I know, and it's getting worse. It's getting worse every day. And I think that's a mutual thing. But we also put them in those seats. And we can also not put them in those seats. The problem with the way our political system is run is there's only two parties. So if I was to vote for who I believed in, and everybody else with a brain did the same, I'm afraid all the people without would all vote for the same person. And then we'd have a real crappy leader yet again. So I don't know the solution as far as communication goes, but we have the most communication we've ever had in this country.
And
as
yet
far
we're
as
the most
capability.
disconnected.
I know. Isn't that sad? And I think a lot of that is because there's
It's the illusion of connection, though. There's no real connection.
there's no face-to-face. And because there's no face-to-face, you can say whatever you want. You know, I could go up to the heavyweight champion of the world online and say, you're a wanker and you're the worst guy at freaking fighting I've ever seen in my life.
Mhm.
Now, if I did that in person, I would be on a gurney.
Right. Yeah.
So that accountability alone, which is the face-to-face
Or
interactions.
lack thereof. Yeah.
Those face-to-face interactions, that's a killer.
I think that a primary contributor to that is losing elders.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the old people, I hate to call them that. My great-grandmother, for example, I just went and visited her yesterday with my brother. I mean, they had landlines, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And if you were going to go see someone, though, I mean, you went to go see them in person, and usually in a group.
Yeah. And now you might go by yourself.
Man, I see of course I see people whenever I leave the house every day, but like I could count on one hand how many people I see consistently on a monthly basis.
I don't think it's necessarily about seeing the people, Austin. I think it's about having a genuine connection with people.
I know.
And I don't think many people have that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the problem. So, I mean, anymore in my daily interactions, like I went and got dinner last night, and this young lady at the counter, she was having a hard day. You could tell. My first thought was just order and get down the road, because any interaction, it's going to be taken with mistrust. So she's going to think I'm a creep, or whatever else the case may be. But I wanted to show God's grace and truth, and I wanted to be a representation of how I felt he would be. So I inquired as to how her day was, and she said it was a hard day, and I was like, oh, you'll have those. I mean, not every day is going to be a good one. And she was saying that she was in school and still having to work, and I remember those days. They were tough. I said, you'll get through them. It'll be all right. And before I left that interaction, I could tell there was a smile on her face.
Made a difference.
Yeah. And it's not that, I needed the kudos or a pat on the back or anything like that.
Right.
That's not what it's about. I don't know how that really affected her.
I've had those interactions myself. I actually heard I think it was earlier today, I heard this study. It's talking about how a friendly interaction with a fast food worker or a service provider gives you a 60% boost in longevity in your life if you do that consistently on a daily basis, more than a spouse.
Well,
Isn't that wild?
Honestly, that is wild. But where I'm at is it definitely tracks, because we are social creatures. We're desperate for connection. It's how it is. That's why there's a freaking depression epidemic in this country.
No, it's okay. You can just go get some SSRIs.
Yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Just make myself completely numb to everything.
The degradation of society.
Yeah, I don't want to confront my problems. I'll just numb myself to them.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, there are some problems I'd imagine could use some numbing.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
But I've had a bad day because, my microwave went out and someone took my parking spot. Maybe just cope. Fudge. I mean,
Just cope. Cope.
it's the first world problems, man. Figure it out.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. Worse things have happened to better people.
Well, these are really easy times that we're living in. I mean,
Easiest.
yeah, it's
Easiest.
arguably the easiest time ever.
I'd say you'd be hard pressed to find one that was easier.
And yet we have the most depression. I mean, it's like the study of the mice.
Mm-hmm.
You know about that one?
Oh yeah, that one's a really interesting one.
Tell it to me. I like hearing your stories.
Oh, gosh. Okay. All right. So whoa. It was rat utopia. Mm-hmm. And so they had a male and a female rat that they put in like this cage that had ample room and ample food for 100 rats. So naturally, they started reproducing. And the scientists maintained that there was enough food to have surplus. So they never had to want or need for anything.
Anything.
And instead of them repopulating the area to where they were overflowing out of the bin,
It was once they reached a critical point in population size,
yep,
the males started
acting effeminate.
correct and doing things to other males.
Mm-hmm. And the female mice neglected their children and would even kill them.
We haven't even touched on that topic. But, I mean, it's an exact mirror to our society. Whenever you create easy times, it creates weak men. Hard times create strong men.
So this is a call to be a hard man.
Yeah, we're supposed to be built for battle.
Yep.
You know? And I look at myself, I'm like, wow, I'm really not doing enough to prepare for this battle that we're about to have.
In reality, no. And you're not doing bad compared to, I'd say, a good chunk of the population.
Right. But I could do more and I need to be doing more.
Right.
I mean, that's
Not that was an excuse for you.
correct.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I went to a tactical handgun training class last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That was great, but I have no fighting skills. I won't say I have no fighting skills. I mean, I can scrap, but I'm not a professional fighter.
Never had any training.
Correct. No
Professional training.
Yeah, formal training, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't run. I don't work out like I should.
I learned my dad used to run 3 miles every morning.
That's insane.
My dad. I mean, I believe it, I mean, he's not going to lie to me, but I never saw it, like by the time I was around, I mean, shoot, he was 30s, so I mean, I wouldn't have picked that up, but yeah, man, so I was like, dang it, I really got to get back to the gym, but I need to do that anyhow.
Yeah.
I've been getting back there. It's just, well, it's a motivation thing, but at the end of the day, life is effort, and I can quit when I die.
It's hard to be motivated to become masculine whenever society is telling you that that's the most toxic thing that you can be. Being a man is not good.
That is the most toxic feminine thing that has ever come out of a mouth. The term toxic masculinity.
The degradation of
It's appalling.
society.
Ridiculous. There's two genders for a reason. And it's because we complement each other. And yeah, you're going to butt heads because you have some people that are very logic-based in their thinking and other people who are very emotional-based in their thinking. And merging those together is difficult, but at the end of the day, it creates something so much greater because you have a guide for emotional stability, but you're still taking the logical path. And both of those have a balance. In Genesis, Adam and Eve were created, and everyone says, well, Bible historians will say, well, Eve was created as a helpmate. And I would agree with that. She was created as a helpmate. But helpmate, if you look at the original, I think it was Greek, it means helper, but it also means equal. And I truly believe that. All men and women, they're not created equal, but they have
It's a counterbalance.
yes, they have their
That's
role.
that's why it's called your better half.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah,
Everything
exactly.
you don't have, they do.
They do. They complement you,
Mhm.
and that's
Try
the
finding
point.
that in today's society.
Right. No one has the patience, self-discipline, integrity, respect.
Loyalty.
Oh, don't get me started on that one. And as society degrades, less and less of those virtues are going to be around.
Unless we stand up and uphold them ourselves as a community.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if you are looking for something like that, for someone like that, it's a whole lot easier to find them if they're standing up and they're doing something.
Well said.
I mean, if
You're not going to find them hiding at home.
no, if you are just absolutely on fire trying to make something happen, trying to better your community, trying to spread grace and truth, and there is another person doing the same thing, you guys might get along. And you might align pretty well. So that's another thing, or another reason to be called to action. If you're lonely, focus on what you can do. The people you need will come. I've never known that to not be true.
God provides.
Period. Yeah. So just go and stop focusing on what you don't have. Focus on what you do have and what you can do.
Right.
And that's really the deal. And if you don't know where to start, you don't know how to start,
We're going to put that together. You know, that is our goal with this is organization.
yeah, definitely.
Let's plug you into a church. Let's plug you into a Patriot group. Let's plug you in somewhere.
So you can feel like so you can make a difference, not just feel like you're making a difference.
Right. Big difference.
So you can make a difference.
Yeah.
Make a difference. Be somebody. Do something with your life.
For the community, for the well-being of this country, because if this country is going to continue on, this is a requirement. It's not optional.
No.
At this point, it's not optional. Either everything you and I grew up knowing, loving, and enjoying
And respecting.
in this country is not going to exist if we don't.
Totally.
And you know,
Just look at the last 8 years. Really?
right.
I mean, it started out slow, and then in the past 4, the bottom dropped out. As far as that's whenever we can do X, Y, have the drag queen story hour and Pride Month out the wazoo, and every business under the sun has a rainbow flag. Why'd they do that?
How many of those businesses have a cross in their window? You know what that percentage is?
no. But that would be an interesting find. I'll have to bring that up next time.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, you have Chick-fil-A,
that's a
Hobby
huge
Lobby.
one. Really?
Hobby Lobby
I thought
is
Hobby Lobby went against
Christ-centric.
that. Yeah, no, I knew that much, but I thought they were going against the whole.
LGBT?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm saying
they made a
no,
stand.
no. I'm saying Christ-centric businesses.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Hobby Lobby,
Martell's.
Chick-fil-A.
Martell's is too, aren't they?
Yeah, Martell's is. Well, yeah, it's a Christian bookstore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
CPO.
CPO. But I mean, it's kind of crazy that those are the ones that we can think of. Like, I can't think of any others.
I saw a barber shop on Grant today. It was His Touch, something like that. And it had a Bible verse underneath it, like a touch from Him. Man, dang it! It said, like, I read it and was like, well, that's kind of strange. And then I read the Bible verse under it, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes
that's
sense.
what I was thinking
Yeah.
too. Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah, I know, but probably the good names were taken, so they went with that one. Sorry, guys, your name's not bad.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're around, but from what I've seen, the professional atmosphere, they really want you to keep that separate, just in general, especially if you're at a big corporation.
Right.
You check your personal and your religious nonsense at the door.
And that's the whole, argument. Well, our government needs to be separated from our religion, but it's okay for every other country for their religion to control their government. And yet our government is controlled by a religion, and it's not Christianity, it's Judaism.
Well, our government.
Hang on, I just want to plug one more thing here. If you knew anything about Judaism and Christianity, you would know that there is no such thing as Judeo-Christian values. There is no such thing as Judeo-Christian values because
The values don't align.
not at all. The beliefs don't align. Christians believe that Jesus died on the cross for our sins, and if we repent and believe in him, we will receive eternal salvation. Jews do not believe that.
That is correct.
They believe that Jesus is not the Messiah. He was not the Messiah. He was a necromancer, and that he is in Sheol,
Oh, yeah.
burning in feces.
Not
That is
ju-
what
Not just
the-
feces.
No, it says other things too, but
Right.
this is a Christian podcast.
Right.
There's no such thing as Judeo-Christian values. You cannot align with someone who believes that your Messiah
Yeah.
was a warlock and sorcerer and is in hell burning in shit. Excuse my language, but that's what it says.
Yeah. Yeah, which that raises a whole lot of other questions as to motivations.
Yeah.
That would take a whole other episode and is going to.
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, whenever you look at who's supporting the degradation of our communities and our values within our government, it's a specific group of people, and everyone's noticing. But we'll cover that in another episode.
And it will get covered.
Yes.
Well, unless we die first.
It's very possible.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. But we're built for battle.
We're built for battle. I've got a pretty quick draw.
Yeah. I've got a pretty tactical mindset. I was going to go back to what you were saying as far as our government. Our
Close it.
government is based on our Constitution. Like, we should fall back on the Constitution. Oh, man. Tangent. A leftist quoting the Constitution is the same as an atheist quoting the Bible
Interesting. Why do you believe that?
because they don't believe what they're quoting. They don't believe in what they're quoting. Leftists don't believe in the Constitution. They're trying to sidestep it. They have been for years. They're using it to hold you to a standard that they do not abide by.
Hold themselves to.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
And that's that's why I say atheists, they're going to judge you to the standard of your faith.
But not themselves.
Correct. Because they don't prescribe to it.
Right.
So, our Constitution, as John Adams said, was built for was written
For a religious and moral people.
for moral and religious people. Exactly. And it is wholly inadequate to the government of any other.
Meaning that it's not only valuable, but it is most valuable to. That sounds right.
No, I think that our Constitution, I mean, the way our government is set up, if it is not governing a moral and religious people, then it fails.
It's inadequate.
Right. Because later, what he writes
Because the idea is that everyone has the same values.
and moral system. So you're assuming that everyone knows that murder is wrong, that you shouldn't steal, that you shouldn't utilize your size and strength against someone with less, or money for that matter, or influence. If you're a moral religious people, you are beheld to something higher, so you are not going to be seeking the wickedness that a non-moral and non-religious people will encounter. So if I didn't have faith, it might be like the Wild West. I might just, well, not me particularly, but who's to say I couldn't just go shoot somebody that I don't like?
But I do just want to plug this in here. If a religion is the only thing keeping you from doing that, or law the only thing keeping you from doing that, I mean, what does that say about you?
I think that everyone has a wicked heart. Period.
We are inherently evil.
Right. That says so in the Bible. So if you don't have a moral system, which in this country we're morally born on third base. So let's say you weren't born in this country, you'll kill your kids to make it rain. So, yeah.
No, if you're born in this country, you'll just sacrifice your children to Moloch through Planned Parenthood.
Well, yeah, it's a little more clinical, but yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's nothing clinical about killing a child.
Well, I mean, it's in a hospital, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I
So
mean,
that's where I'm at.
well, we shouldn't be laughing about that.
No, it's really dark.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm at. Our country is built for people who are held to a higher standard. And if they are not held to a higher standard,
All hell breaks loose.
bam. You know what? I gotta look that up. Bear with me, because there was more to that letter to the 3rd Division of the Militia of Massachusetts that John Adams wrote.
Yeah, Jamie, pull that up.
He felt that a society lacking these qualities would be unable to uphold the Constitution and maintain freedom, as the framework of government relies on the virtuous character of the citizens to function efficiently.
That's talking to us. Back up. Read that again.
Okay. He felt that the society of these lacking these qualities would be
We lack these qualities.
right.
You and I and every other member of our community has stood idly by, have not upheld.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, what is it like the first line of the Declaration of Independence? Roughly translated, if there's something wrong with the country, you not only have, and you have the ability to, you have the
duty.
responsibility to do something. And we did not.
Right.
So, yeah, we're kind of late to the game here. Start.
Right.
Start. I don't care where. There's something, there's things in your community that you can do.
Come to the Patriots breakfast.
There you go.
Fridays. Starts at 7 a.m., ends at 10 a.m. You don't have to stay for the full thing. You can just drop in, visit, meet other people with the same mind as you.
What's it cost?
Oh, you just get food if you want.
Look at that.
It's free.
Bam.
You can just come for the socialization.
Tastes even better when it's free.
Yeah. Well, food's not bad. Freedom does. Freedom tastes way better when it's free.
Yeah.
But
freedom's not free.
it's not.
Freedom's
It's been
not free.
paid for by blood,
Mm-hmm.
just like Jesus.
Not just like, but yes.
Well,
Yes. It's been,
our salvation was paid for by blood.
yeah. And,
You were paid for.
yep.
I was paid for.
Mm-hmm.
Our soldiers shed blood for you and I.
To be able to sit here and have a conversation.
Correct.
Yep. And really, if you start by just having a conversation, at least you're thinking, and at least you're trying. That's my goal, man.
We're trying, guys. This is our first podcast, so it's probably a little rough, but we're going to get better at it because we're going to do this at least once a week.
Yep. That's the plan.
And
And we would encourage you guys to do the same. Or not necessarily do a podcast. Heck, do it.
yeah,
Like, whatever. But
or if you want to talk about something, if you feel passionate about this, then, message us.
definitely.
We want to have you on.
Mm-hmm. Because you're a part of our community.
Correct.
And you need to have a voice too.
That's also another goal that we have with this is to provide a platform for people within our community who are doing things for the community and maybe aren't being recognized or feel like not necessarily that they need recognition, but that they want other people within the community to know.
Or that just to know that they have support. Knowing
For real.
that you have people behind you that are encouraging is massive, especially when you're doing something that arguably is contentious.
It's really hard to do something whenever you don't feel like anyone believes in you.
100%.
And we need to believe in one another and we need to support one another.
Mm-hmm. Especially the people who are trying to make a difference for good.
The betterment
The
of,
better-
of
right.
society,
Couldn't
of
have
our
put-
community.
Couldn't have put it better myself.
Yep.
Definitely.
Do you want to close us out in prayer, Ethan?
Well, I started us. I think you ought to close this out in prayer.
All right. Lord, thank you for this time with Ethan and with anyone who watches this video. Please bless our lives and provide us with protection to stand up for what is right and uphold your values and just do the right thing for our community, Lord. Please give us the wisdom to continue speaking on this platform that we are creating. Thank you, Lord, for everything that you've provided us. Watch over the city of Springfield and let us do the right thing together, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. That's a wrap.
Yep.
Well, we certainly got a lot of... Oh, no, one of our cameras died.
It's been out for 5.
5? Like minutes? Okay, so that's not that bad. Ooh.